Are your children completely stuck the moment you step away? Does every math problem, writing assignment, or reading passage come to a screeching halt unless you're hovering nearby? If you're nodding your head right now, my friend, you're not alone. I love sharing this cartoon with homeschool moms. Yeah, no, we have to stop swaddling him at some point, right? We laugh, that nervous, knowing laugh, because deep down, we feel the truth of it. Those precious little ones, they won't stay young forever. And while our hearts ache at how quickly time passes, our bodies and our minds are screaming for relief from the constant demands of being everything to everyone, every minute of every day. What if I told you there's an escape route from this exhausting hamster wheel? There's a better way to beat those chaotic, fragmented homeschool days. It's called independent learning. And it's not just a nice theory. It's the game changer your family desperately needs. When your children learn to work on their own, everyone wins. Your kids develop crucial life skills, and you can reclaim precious time and energy. Doesn't that vision make you breathe a little deeper just imagining it? Today I'm pulling back the curtain on why you must stop the hovering, the micromanaging, and the spoon feeding, and exactly what to do instead. My friend, I promise teaching your children to learn independently will change your homeschool. But you need to stay until the end of this video, because the final insight I'll share could make the difference between thriving and merely surviving your homeschool journey. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Kim with Not Consumed Ministries. We help families grow in faith so that they can live not consumed by life's challenges. I'm now in my 22nd year of homeschooling, with 2 graduates already launched into the world, a senior counting down to the big day, and my baby cruising through 10th grade. I started homeschooling in a rather unusual way. My sister called one day, voice breaking as she told me that my nephew was facing retention for the 2nd time in elementary school. As a classroom teacher myself, my heart sank. I knew exactly what this meant. Another child had been failed by a system that could not meet his needs. In the most impulsive moment of my life, I blurted out, "Bring him to my house. I'll homeschool him." The rest is history. Just weeks later, I welcomed my firstborn. Suddenly, I was juggling a newborn and homeschooling my nephew, figuring out motherhood and education all at the same time. Talk about a crash course. With a baby demanding feeding, changing, and constant attention, I had to create systems for my nephew to work independently. Necessity became my greatest teacher. By the time my own children reached school age, I wasn't just accepting homeschooling, I was its most passionate advocate. The personalized education, the character development, the family bond, I was completely sold. But life tests our commitments. When my husband left our family, I faced the crushing weight of single parenthood. But I was so convinced of homeschooling's value that I vowed to find a way to continue no matter what. For 12 years, I homeschooled as a single mom, while maintaining a full-time work-at-home career. With 4 children at different stages and no partner to tag team with, independent learning was our lifeline. I physically couldn't be present for every question or every assignment, every learning moment for 4 different kids. The math simply didn't work. Here's what I discovered. Independent learning isn't just possible, it changes everything, even with a packed schedule, limited support, and children with learning challenges. Oh, and contrary to what you might fear, my children didn't get shortchanged. Far from it. They thrived with our independent learning. The truth is, independent learning isn't merely a survival strategy for overwhelmed parents. It's the secret ingredient to genuine educational success. Let me prove it to you. Picture this, a remote Ethiopian village where children have never seen modern technology. No computers, no smartphones, most haven't even encountered written words. In 2012, researchers conducted a remarkable experiment. They dropped off tablets sealed in boxes with no instructions and then stepped back to observe. The results were astonishing. Within 4 minutes, not hours or days, minutes, these children had opened the boxes and powered on the tablets. Within 5 days, they were navigating through an average of 47 apps a day and singing the ABC song in English. Within 5 months, they had actually hacked the Android operating system to customize their experience. Let that sink in. No training, no tutorials, no adult hovering nearby saying, click here, swipe there. These children, equipped with nothing but curiosity and determination, didn't just figure it out. They mastered it. This is the innate power of independent learning that exists in every child, including yours. My years as an elementary teacher gave me a unique perspective. I watched my students grow up through middle school, high school, and beyond. The pattern was unmistakable. Children who developed independence and responsibility in the early years became teenagers and adults who tackled challenges with confidence. They didn't just memorize facts, they developed the mental muscles to seek knowledge, solve problems, and adapt to new situations. If we truly want to raise adults who can navigate life's complexities, it begins with intentionally stepping back and letting them develop those muscles in our homeschool. So why exactly should you commit to raising independent learners? Let me share 4 powerful benefits that will transform not just your homeschool days, but your children's entire futures. Number 1, independent learning teaches children how to learn, not just what to learn. When you hand over the reins of learning, your children must figure things out for themselves. This isn't just beneficial, it's essential. Research consistently shows that when children engage in problem solving, their understanding of a subject deepens dramatically compared to when information is simply handed to them. By training your children to learn independently, you're equipping them with the master key to all knowledge. This leads to better academic outcomes because they can apply their learning strategies to any subject. Think about it. When we spoon-feed information, children develop no problem-solving capabilities at all. They can't transfer what they've learned beyond the exact scenario we've prepared them for. And that information, it often evaporates from their minds within weeks or months. Think about how many things you recall. This is exactly why we need to shift our focus away from making sure our kids memorize specific facts towards ensuring that they know how to discover, process, and apply any information that they desire to learn or need to know. It's no secret that our educational system has the priorities backwards. School should be preparing children for life's challenges, not just standardized tests. Most graduates today feel woefully unprepared for real-world challenges, and I was one of those. The most valuable skill you can develop during school years isn't memorizing the periodic table or reciting state capitals. It's learning how to approach any challenge with confidence and resourcefulness. When you know how to learn, you can think through problems systematically. And this brings up our next benefit. Number 2, independent learning develops genuine independent thinking. When your children learn to work independently, they must think for themselves, and this extends far beyond academic subjects. Thinking independently turns passive knowledge into personal conviction. It helps forge a moral compass that guides them when you're not there to direct them. It's no longer simply, Mom said this is right, but now it's, I understand why this matters. This transformation is absolutely crucial to helping children maintain their faith and their values when they leave home. Whether they're at a sleepover across town or a college dorm across the country, they won't always have your voice in their ear, but they will remember God's truth that has been hidden in their hearts and molded in their character, if they're allowed to think through why these things matter to them. Speaking of things that matter, let's explore the 3rd benefit. Number 3, independent learning cultivates internal motivation. It's the ultimate success factor. My mother managed a prestigious law firm in Tampa for 3 decades. She once shared something that stopped me in my tracks. Her firm terminated, on average, 1 employee every week. I was stunned by this revolving door until she explained the reason. It wasn't lack of technical skills or education that got these people fired. It was something more fundamental. They lacked internal motivation. They couldn't complete tasks without constant supervision. They resisted direction and required endless handholding for basic responsibilities. I've got to say that I've witnessed the exact opposite in our business at Not Consumed. We specifically seek out homeschooled teens to work in our warehouse positions because of their independence and their self-direction. They don't need someone checking their every move, and they take ownership of their responsibilities. Independent learning nurtures the qualities employers desperately seek: intrinsic motivation, intellectual curiosity, personal initiative, self-evaluation skills, and problem-solving abilities. These aren't just workplace assets either. They're essential life skills for thriving in any environment. When my daughter was just 8, I would often discover her creating her own learning assignments after she had completed the required work that I had given her. Since she knew how to explore new subjects, she naturally pursued her interests without any prompting from me. The stark reality, having someone manage your every move and thought process isn't preparing you for anything valuable in the real world. Which brings us to our next benefit. Number 4, independent learning builds time management and essential life skills. I mentioned before that employers don't want to babysit They need team members who can think and work independently. Nothing drains organizational energy faster than an employee who appears at your desk every 5 minutes with yet another problem that they haven't even tried to solve themselves. By teaching your children to overcome obstacles independently, you're making them so much more valuable in the workplace. But these benefits begin long before their career. Children who master their homeschool checklist independently can apply those same skills to managing their devotional time, athletic practice, music studies, and any other passion they wish to develop. If we never give our kids space to manage their own time and responsibilities, they're going to miss the opportunities to develop these things to their fullest potential. Remember this truth. If children don't personally own a skill, they aren't going to be internally motivated, and the results will always be temporary. And before we go any further, don't misunderstand independent learning as neglectful parenting or educational corner cutting. Time is our most precious resource. No one has extra hours hiding in their closet. Why squander your limited energy supervising tasks that your kids can handle themselves when you could be investing in meaningful connection? Isn't it more fulfilling to conduct a fascinating science experiment together rather than hover while your 4th grader completes a worksheet? I'd much rather equip my kids for independence so I can pour my energy into the experiences that truly require my presence, the memory-making moments that make homeschooling so special. So what exactly is independent learning? After hearing these benefits, you might be wondering what I mean by independent learning. So let me be clear. Independent learning is the intentional, gradual process of training your child to take complete responsibility for their education. I'm guessing you've heard about the old school swimming method, throwing a child into the deep end so they could sink or swim. This approach is disastrous. It creates unnecessary fear, potentially dangerous situations, and often results in children who either fear the water or worse, don't trust their parents. I taught swimming lessons for years using a completely different approach. We entered the water alongside each child, providing support and gradually teaching the skills they needed to either release the wall or kickboard and swim confidently on their own. The results? Every child that we taught learned how to swim, and not one of them finished lessons hating the water. This is our goal with independent learning. We don't want to throw our kids into the academic deep water and then abandon them. Instead, we want to provide structured, intentional training that gradually builds their capabilities. In my next video, I'm going to share a step-by-step method that I've refined over decades to help develop independent learners. So whether your children are preschoolers or teenagers, I'm going to provide for you the practical strategies to meet them where they are and guide them to greater autonomy. Until then, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below sharing your biggest strategy when it comes to helping your kids work independently. I read every comment, and I might even feature your question in an upcoming video.